My 10-year-old, he goes back into time and he likes stuff like, well, what's one of his favorite songs? Lollipop, lollipop, lolly, 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 lollipop. He likes that. And then he played one of his brother's songs the other day for me, and he says, I want you to hear what Cinnamon listens to. And he put this song on Cinnamon, and he says to me, Dad, can you understand what this guy is saying? And I said, no, I can't understand. He said, me either. That's why I like old school music. And he's 10 years old. So he likes all the things that you can actually hear and make sense to him. And then he's totally against rap. So, and he's 10, so he really likes hearing music. And because I have been his dad and I am his dad, I think the enjoyment comes from hearing me sing to him. And he didn't grow up with all the music covering up the voice. And he grew up with his dad being the people's singer and the singer that people love to hear and come to see, because you can hear his dad and you can hear the words. And when I do sing a song, I want you to cry or laugh, or I want you to enjoy the song because it's coming from here instead of from this. There are a lot of baby boomers right now, people 30 years old and older, and they don't have anything to buy. Eventually the hip-hop is going to wear out for them, and they're going to start having children, and this is not something you want to raise your kids on. You do want to give your kids a little bit of the background and what it does for the savage beast, and you just can't teach it with some of the music that's coming out right now. Oh boy, how do you put it in words? Electronic feelings. I mean, nobody has electronic feelings. It all comes from the heart. But the young people seem to have taken it and made it heartfelt for them. And for me, it's cold. They say that the moon and the earth, between the moon and the earth, it gives a signal, and it's in the key of F. Now, if God put that there for us to tune into, just to signal it goes back and forth from Earth to the moon, then it must be something that's very important for us to have. Music's been here probably longer than we have. It's very important that people have communication between one another, I think, instead of just a song that makes you feel like that, you know. I'm just not there. That the real instruments, they actually give off a vibe, and this constant kind of warmth and throbbing that makes you want to get up and dance. That's what Motown did. Background vocals and stuff like that, you sound how creamy they are, and the instruments sound so warm, it sounds like a symphony. And you can't get electronic symphony. You can't make an electronic symphony. It's impossible without real players. Totally all real players. I mean, like strings, horns, and everything. I haven't done that since I was, 27. It's all live music. It's all real players. So that was the big difference, is to have actual people sitting down that cared about what they were playing, and there was no set arrangements. Everybody just kind of came in and played what they thought should go on the track. And most of the time they were very good at what they did. There's another thing too for me. Back then we were selling love, and now they're selling sex. I know they've been talking about making love to women all their lives, especially in songs, but I think they've gotten a little bit too explicit, and they've taken all the joy out of sex and love. Sex is no good without love. It was all about feeling and love. That's what we brought to the table. And when you bring some love to the table and some magic, you know it all happens. Everybody came in and did everything for love. They did it for love out of the music. If the music hadn't have been that interesting for them, they would have never gotten involved. But we brought doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs into the mix, and we got what you hear. Well, the music industry has changed emphatically. When I was young, you had a good song, you could walk into a record company like RCA or Capitol. I knew people from all the record companies. I could go any office I wanted to. CBS, I used to just hang there all the time. And then what came along was Juicy Fruit. And Juicy Fruit was the first electronic song that the record companies had heard that was totally produced at home. And that song went to the top of the charts real quick. And once record companies realized that people were starting to do their own music at home with these home studios, and that sound had took the market by with a lot of success. All the companies figured that we can save money by cutting down these offices and let people bring in their own finished product. So that left a lot of us old guys to find our way again. It was electronics and synthesizers now that were coming into play. And nobody knew how to deal with that. And then they started talking about computers, and that's where, the companies went scrambling for other things to do. So now you can't even talk to a record company because they don't even want to talk to the artists anymore. They basically want to deal with the lawyers and the deals and stuff like that. And a lot of things have gone to the internet, so there's not that kind of promotion that they used to give you anymore. There's just whatever you can put together. So far I've been able to put together something really special, but it was a trying experience. I give voice lessons. The young people that come to me usually wouldn't last an hour on stage. They sing from here instead of from their diaphragm. My ventures have took me to a different class of music. My father's a classical singer. He's 103, but until he's gone, he's still called a singer. And he's a classical singer. Now, I learned the correct way to sing, but a lot of people won't be able to sing until they get my age because of the way they sing. And for instance, I have people pay me $175 sometimes an hour to get a lesson. And then when they go to get produced, I found out that some of the producers actually want them to sing off-key so they can auto-tune. Now I don't know what that's all about, but I think that's kind of bad for the artist, because a lot of artists that are putting out songs right now, I don't see or hear things that I'm gonna dance to 30 years from now. They seem to be just putting out songs for the moment. I haven't heard those love songs or those dance songs that we used to have. You know, like, it's funny that they still listen to the Marvelettes and Temptations and, you know, Kool and the Gang and people like that. They're still listening to these people because they were real. And now they got so much of a problem with the vocals and especially the character of these artists that are coming up. You know, we don't know whether or not we're going to have Christmas or Thanksgiving in the next couple of years because they don't keep families together. And a lot of it sometimes also is detrimental to some of the kids because they're talking about dying and they're talking about sex and, you know, and then also, well, I like to stack my voices because they sound a little bit, they get lost sometimes when you're playing music. If you notice on stage, you'll hear more of the band than you will of the voice, especially if the person can't sing and, or deliver. Let's call it delivering. If they can't deliver, the band will wash them away. So in recording, I find that the doubling of background usually gives it more of a creamy feel for the background, and it's well, most producers in the studio now don't double voices, but I come from the old school with Kid Grill and Coconuts and Hall & Oates. That old school kind of production, if you listen to it, it sounds so creamy and smooth and joyous to the heart. It makes you want to get up and be a part of it. And some of the stuff I listen to now, I'm not saying these guys are bad producers, but if they actually put their hearts and soul and mind on actually using real instruments and doing it, if you're going to use horns, you can hear fake horns when people use them. You can hear fake horns. I don't know if you people really understand that, but you can hear fake horns. The one thing I like about doing real horns, you can actually feel the breath of the player. You can actually hear them. You can hear that. And it sounds fuller. It gives you, the record sounds huge. And we really don't have a lot of people playing. It's just, being in Vancouver for me means a lot of love. I've surrounded myself with people who love one another and love what they do, and who are not afraid to venture out and do new things, and they think with a whole different attitude when it comes to music. Maybe it's because it's above LA, but they're not afraid to show it. I got about 30 people on my album playing different things at one time or another, and I've never met one person that came in that studio that had a negative attitude about what's going on. And the only duet on my album actually is I Love You, and we have Betty Supple, who is my partner and loving singer on there that we got to be a part of it. Now, we auditioned a few girls and had them sing the part, but Betty was the only person that actually could make the song feel like it was natural and loving and sexy. She just did it. She made it great. And I'm looking forward to seeing her again. Betty, I'm waiting on you. I want to see you. I like you. We don't bury our singers because we can sing. You know, the whole idea is to present the voice. It's like accompaniment. You know, you want a great accompanist, but you want them to set the mood for you. But you're supposed to be the one that tells the story. Now, when they tell the story, the story's buried, and the music is just overwhelming. So you don't really get a chance to hear Honestly, I don't realize what I've written until it's over. I get a feeling, that's what it is. I feel like it should feel like this to me. So I take the music and turn it into something that fits my inner self. And most of the time, it only takes me about 20 minutes to an hour to figure out where I want to go, and it's over. It takes a lot to keep together a choir. And a lot of people don't teach their kids discipline anymore, so you can't get them all in and get things done like that. You know, now it's all about the individual, and somebody's got to do something about that. What do you think? Everybody has a song in their heart. Even if you think you can't sing, if you're sitting at home right now and you don't think you have a song in your heart, all you got to do is, I know you've heard yourself hum around the house, whether we all can sing, either with our heart or with our minds. We sing. We all sing every day.
Yeah, and almost anyone can sing if they put their minds to it and their heart in it, for sure.
If you don't have something godly in your life and in your heart, you're not going to really find out the substance of music. You're not going to really get down to the source of what it's supposed to mean and do for people. It's supposed to be an uplifting thing. Lady Edith Foxwell, she came to see me when I was at the Bernard Shaw Theater, and what she said, she came to see who had the nerve to do Marvin. So I wound up having to do a two-part show where I actually did some bad acting in the first half about Marvin's life, and the second half I came out and did a concert with all his music. And I don't know what people thought about the acting part, but I know I was getting 3 or 4 standing ovations doing the singing part. And I didn't sing like Marvin. I don't sing like Marvin. It's just me interpreting Marvin's music to fit me and giving it to people so they could enjoy it. Hear that? We did a lot of praying. Prayed for rain, prayed for sun, we prayed for life, we prayed for the children, we prayed for everything.
He looked up and said, "What is this? This is the best music I've heard in years." He's like, "This is real music." He was blown away. Yeah.
I'm looking for everybody just to enjoy it because it's been a long time coming, you know. A couple of years ago, I kind of realized that this is not going to happen. It's not going to be, this kind of music can't get away all the time. You know, that electronic music is killing it. It's killing us. And it's killing our children too. Mentally and physically, some of them are dying out in the street over this bullshit.
I want to hold